Okay, for the first thing that we're going to do today is learn about plot. Maybe you've heard about plot in the past years. We have also talked about plot with the book The Dot, but now we're going to create an anchor chart in our reader's notebook, okay? So this is, I'm going to write on this little cover right here, Reader's Workshop. Let's see if it fits. Workshop Notebook. Okay, so this is our Reader's Workshop Notebook. So it's going to be behind mini lesson, behind our summarizing, our summarizing anchor chart, okay? Actually, it's actually behind our summary versus retell, my bad. So it should be behind summarizing versus retell, okay? I just didn't create it in my anchor chart, in my notebook, so I had just set it out and read it out loud to you. But today I'm going to go over plot, and I'm going to create it with you. So go ahead and turn to the next clean page, and we're going to write plot, okay, as our heading. Let me try to get a better pen. So plot, okay, that's what we're talking about today. And what does plot mean? What is the definition of plot? Or what do we do with plot? So plot is the sequence of events in a story. Okay? Plot is a sequence of events in a story. And then down here, we're going to create a plot mountain. And what I'm going to do is try to create it maybe a little bit halfway. So we're gonna make it around here, and then there's the peak, and then down here, but this, we're not gonna go as far as this one, okay? This is gonna be like around maybe here, okay? So that's our little plot mountain, and in the middle I'm gonna write plot mountain. Excuse me. Okay, and I'll just draw some snow. Plot mountain. Now the first thing that we're going to talk about with plot mountain is exposition. Okay, let me get a better marker. Exposition. Let's see. See if this one works. No, they don't want to work. 1 second. I need to buy some more markers. Okay. We'll try to see if this one works. Exposition. Okay. Exposition. Let me see if I can zoom it in a little bit. That way you can see a little bit better. Okay, and what this means, what exposition means, it provides, so at the beginning of the story, provides necessary details about the character and setting. Okay, so that's what the exposition is at the very beginning of the story. Provides necessary details about the character and setting. I'm going to go ahead and underline details, character, setting. Okay? So we know that from Raymie Nightingale, so far in the exposition, we learned about Raymie, we learned about her father. The setting is mostly Idane's baton twirling lesson, and a little bit at the retirement center. Okay. Oh, and make sure you draw that arrow, because it is going to go like this. Okay. So draw that arrow. And then the next thing that we're going to talk about is rising action. Okay? Rising action. So what is rising action? Rising action is the part of the story that develops the problem or comma or conflict through a series of events that build interest / suspense. That build interest / suspense. Okay? Period. That's what the rising action. So a couple of events that we know have happened throughout the rising action is that, well, Raymie Nightingale, Raymie has, she has entered into the pageant, or sorry, the contest, the Little Miss Central Florida Tyrant 1975 contest. And but the problem is that Beverly and Louisiana have both entered it as well, one to sabotage it and the other one to win it. And she also, Raymie, has also had to do good deeds in order to fill out her application. So those are a couple of the rising action. The next thing that we're going to talk about is the climax. Okay, and the climax, I honestly don't think we've gotten to the climax of Raymie Nightingale. I think pretty soon we will get to the climax of Raymie Nightingale. So don't forget to draw an arrow from rising action to climax. Okay, so draw a little arrow, and then I'm going to draw an arrow pointing here to the top of the mountain, the peak of the mountain, because climax means the turning point of the story where the problem / conflict reaches its excuse me, peak. So the turning point of the story where the problem / conflict reaches its peak. Excuse me. So I'm going to underline, let me go ahead and underline something in the rising action as well. So over here I'm going to underline problem, conflict, and build interest. Okay? And over here I'm going to underline turning point, problem, conflict, and reaches peak. Okay? Okay, so, and then we're going to continue. The next thing that we're going to write is the falling action. So for the falling action, we're going to write it on this side of the mountain, of the plot mountain, and write falling, because it's falling action. Okay? Falling action. And I'm going to draw another arrow from the falling action to the, from the climax to the falling action. And let me go ahead, draw that. Okay, because again, remember, it's a sequence of events in a story. Okay. So the falling action is the events, after the climax, comma, or turning point, that leads to the solution. Okay? So the events after the climax or turning point that leads to the solution. So I'm going to underline after climax, because remember, it's always exposition, then rising action, then climax, then falling action. So after climax leads to solution. Okay? After falling action comes the resolution. So we're going to write at the bottom right here, resolution. Resolution. Okay? And don't forget that arrow from here to here. From falling action to resolution. Okay? Now, what does resolution mean? The conclusion, conclusion to the story that reveals the solution to the problem or conflict. Right? So that's a resolution. And down here, I'm going to do a little thought bubble, because there's something else that I want you to think about with resolution down here. So we often, let me see that, let me make that and a different color. me see if this one is better. We often learn a lesson from the way the conflict was resolved. Okay. And then down here, if you want to, you can draw some trees. It's because it is a plot mountain. And draw a little bit of trees. If you want to fill some space. So, this is the anchor chart that we have made for plot. And now you also have one more anchor chart that you're going to make for today. So all of the assignments that you need to do today are going to be in this assignment. So one of the things that you're going to do is, create this anchor chart. Then you're going to create another anchor chart, but in your writer's notebook, and then do a quick little practice with the next anchor chart. So for this anchor chart, all you have to do is take a picture and upload it. But the main thing that I want you to do for to turn in is the their assignment, so the homophones. Okay, so all of that will be, I'm going to let you know in the assignment box, okay, in the instructions. So this is what you need to do for this, for plot, for reading, just this, okay, just this plot mountain. All right, so make sure you do this to help you when answering questions about plot, okay? Just go ahead and watch the next video.